I am a Japanese doctor, and I am begging you, please listen closely to what I'm about to say. Every day in my clinic, I see seniors losing their independence, not because of accidents, not because of sudden disease, but because of slow, silent choices at the dinner table. They think aging is the cause, when in truth, it's food. And here is the heartbreaking part. By the time most patients realize it, it's too late. Their muscles have vanished, their bones have weakened, and they are trapped in a body that no longer obeys. In Japan, where life expectancy is the highest in the world, we have studied this for decades, and the findings are shocking. 5 specific daily foods, simple, humble, and available in almost every market, can slash your risk of losing independence by nearly half. One long-term Japanese study of over 40,000 adults showed that seniors who consumed these foods regularly were far less likely to suffer fractures, strokes, or disability. Yet outside of Asia, almost no one is eating them. That's why I am begging you, don't make the same mistake. And the most shocking part. The number 2 food on this list is so common you may have walked past it in the store without realizing it has the power to cut frailty in half within a single year. But before we get there, you must see the entire countdown, because every single one of these foods is a piece of the puzzle. Miss even one, and you risk years of independence lost. All references are listed in the description. Never take anyone's word blindly, always check the science yourself. Now I want to ask you, where are you watching from, and what's one food you rely on daily for your health? Drop your answer below. We read every single comment, and we reply, because this is not just a video, it's a fight for your future. Now, without any further ado, let's start with number 5, and it might surprise you how much independence can be gained from something this simple. Number 5. Shiitake mushrooms. At number 5 are shiitake mushrooms, and if you think mushrooms are just a side dish, prepare to be surprised. These little brown caps are often dismissed as garnish food, but they are medicinal powerhouses that have been used for over 2,000 years in Asian medicine to extend life and preserve strength. Modern science has now confirmed what ancient healers suspected. Shiitake mushrooms can literally change the way your immune system, your muscles, and even your arteries age. For seniors over 70, where every step and every breath matters, that makes shiitakes far more than food, they are survival tools. The secret lies in compounds called beta-glucans, which are special fibers that interact directly with immune cells. Think of them as little trainers for your immune system, constantly keeping your defenses sharp so that when viruses, bacteria, or even rogue cancer cells appear, your body reacts faster. A clinical study published in the Journal of the American College of Nutrition in 2015 had participants eat just 1 cup of shiitake mushrooms daily for 4 weeks. The results were striking. Immune markers increased significantly, inflammation levels dropped, and the subjects reported higher energy and fewer infections. That's in just 28 days. Imagine what happens when seniors make this a daily habit for years. But immunity isn't the only benefit. Shiitakes are rich in a compound called arachidinane, which lowers cholesterol by changing the way your liver processes fats. Seniors with high cholesterol often find themselves on lifelong medications, but researchers have shown that shiitake extract can reduce cholesterol by as much as 25% in controlled studies. When cholesterol is lowered naturally, arteries remain flexible, blood flow improves, and the risk of heart attack and stroke, the 2 biggest killers after 70, plummets. And unlike harsh drugs that bring side effects like muscle pain or memory problems, shiitakes work quietly through food with no prescription needed. Some effects are harder to notice until it's too late. Seniors who don't get enough circulation to their muscles often experience subtle weakness that creeps up year after year. It starts with feeling tired halfway through a walk, then struggling to carry groceries, until suddenly independence is gone. That's where shiitakes provide a hidden advantage. Their unique blend of B vitamins, copper, and selenium directly supports mitochondrial energy production. In plain words, they help your body turn food into energy more efficiently, so your muscles don't tire out as quickly. I'm reminded of Lucille, a 74-year-old retired teacher, who used to joke that she was slowing down like a rusty bicycle. She often skipped meals and never thought mushrooms mattered much. after her doctor encouraged her to try shiitakes daily, adding them to soups and stir-fries. She told her grandson that within weeks, "I feel less foggy, less heavy, and my walks around the block don't leave me gasping." It wasn't magic. It was nutrition acting where pills could not. What does this mean for independence? Stronger immunity means fewer hospitalizations, lower cholesterol means a steadier heart, and better energy metabolism means stronger muscles. Put those together, and you have a food that not only keeps seniors out of the hospital, but keeps them walking into their garden, playing with grandchildren, and cooking their own meals. So, the truth is this: shiitake mushrooms are not just for flavor. They are one of nature's most overlooked longevity foods. Ignore them, and you risk faster decline. Embrace them, and you buy more years of mobility. But as powerful as mushrooms are, the food at number 4 is even more underestimated. It works on a part of the body most seniors don't even realize is failing until it's too late. Number 4. Tofu. At number 4 is tofu, a food many seniors dismiss as bland or only for vegetarians, yet it's one of the most powerful longevity foods you can put on your plate. Tofu is made from soybeans, and inside those beans are compounds called isoflavones, which act like gentle plant-based estrogens. That might sound confusing, but here's the simple version. These compounds bind to receptors in your body that normally weaken with age, protecting bones, stabilizing hormones, and keeping muscles from shrinking. For seniors over 70, that means tofu isn't just protein. It's a shield against the slow, creeping loss of independence that so many accept as just aging. The science is clear. A 2020 study in nutrients followed more than 1,000 older adults and found that those who consumed soy-based foods like tofu at least 4 times per week had significantly higher bone density and up to a 36% lower risk of fractures compared to those who rarely ate it. Why does that matter? Because hip fractures are one of the leading reasons seniors lose independence. Half of all people over 65 who suffer a hip fracture never fully walk again. Imagine avoiding that fate simply by adding a piece of tofu to your meals. Tofu is also one of the cleanest protein sources available. Unlike red meat, which often brings saturated fats that clog arteries, tofu delivers protein without the hidden risks. A 100-gram serving contains about 8 grams of high-quality protein, plus calcium, magnesium, and iron, nutrients that seniors desperately need to preserve muscle and bone strength. Without enough protein, the body begins to break down muscle tissue, leading to sarcopenia. That's why so many seniors feel weaker every year even when their weight hasn't changed. The body is cannibalizing itself because it's not getting the building blocks it needs. This was the case for Thomas, a 76-year-old retired accountant who prided himself on eating light to stay trim. He rarely ate meat but also skipped protein-rich replacements. Over time, his arms became frail, and he struggled to carry even a basket of laundry. At his daughter's insistence, he tried tofu for the first time in decades, adding it to soups and stir-fries. Within months, his energy improved, and his doctor told him his muscle mass had actually increased slightly, something rare at his age. His story is proof that the right protein, delivered gently and consistently, can reverse decline. So don't make the mistake of underestimating tofu. Behind its plain appearance lies a food that strengthens bones, preserves muscles, and fuels energy without clogging your arteries. It's not trendy, it's timeless. But as essential as tofu is, the food at number 3 goes even deeper, repairing a part of the body that silently drives nearly every disease of aging: your gut. Before we go further, hit like and subscribe with the bell on, because what's coming next could save your health. Number 3. Miso soup. At number 3 is miso soup, a dish many seniors overlook as just Japanese comfort food, when in reality it's one of the most powerful longevity foods ever studied. Miso is made by fermenting soybeans with a special mold called koji, creating a living food packed with probiotics, minerals, and bioactive compounds. For seniors over 70, miso isn't just a warm bowl on a cold day. It's medicine in disguise, repairing the gut, strengthening immunity, and even lowering the risk of stroke and heart disease. The gut is often called the second brain because it controls digestion, hormones, inflammation, and even mood. But after 60, gut bacteria diversity collapses, leading to poor nutrient absorption, constipation, and constant fatigue. That collapse quietly drives many of the problems seniors think are just age. Miso soup changes that. A study in the European Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that daily miso intake increased beneficial gut bacteria by more than 25% in just a few weeks, directly improving digestion and lowering markers of chronic inflammation. When inflammation falls, energy rises, joints ache less, and the immune system bounces back. Miso also delivers a surprising heart benefit. A long-term Japanese study tracking more than 40,000 adults found that those who consumed miso soup regularly had significantly lower risks of stroke and heart attack, despite higher salt intake. Researchers believe this paradox comes from miso's peptides, tiny proteins formed during fermentation, that actively relax blood vessels and improve circulation. For seniors, that means fewer dizzy spells, more stamina, and stronger protection against the sudden events that often strip independence overnight. I think of Eleanor, a 78-year-old grandmother who suffered constant bloating and indigestion. She was skeptical when her daughter suggested miso soup, thinking it was too foreign for her taste. But after a few weeks of sipping it daily, she admitted, "I don't feel weighed down anymore, and I have more energy to garden." Her story echoes countless others. Once seniors heal the gut, the rest of the body begins to come alive again. The takeaway is simple. A small bowl of miso soup daily is like giving your gut a reset button. It restores balance where pills can't, strengthens the immune system naturally, and guards the heart silently. Seniors who ignore it risk constant fatigue and declining health. Those who embrace it gain strength, energy, and protection. But as powerful as miso soup is, the food at number 2 works on something even more precious, the brain itself. Number 2, natto, fermented soybeans. At number 2 is natto, a food so powerful for seniors that it almost seems unbelievable, yet many in the West have never even heard of it. Natto is a traditional Japanese dish made by fermenting soybeans with a specific bacteria called Bacillus subtilis. The result is a sticky, strong-smelling food that many people find unusual at first, but inside those fermented beans lies one of the most important compounds for senior longevity, nattokinase. This enzyme has been shown to break down dangerous blood clots, improve circulation, and drastically lower the risk of heart attacks and strokes, the very conditions that steal independence overnight. Why does this matter so much after 70? Because as we age, blood naturally becomes stickier, arteries stiffen, and the risk of clotting skyrockets. A single clot can block blood flow to the brain or heart, turning an active senior into a nursing home patient in a matter of minutes. Natto helps prevent this. A clinical trial published in Scientific Reports in 2017 showed that nattokinase supplementation reduced clotting factors in the blood by as much as 15% in just 2 months, significantly lowering stroke risk. For seniors, that's the difference between continuing to walk, drive, and live alone, or losing speech, memory, and movement in an instant. This reminds me of Hiroshi, a 75-year-old farmer in rural Japan who ate natto every morning as his father and grandfather did before him. While his peers in neighboring towns struggled with strokes and broken hips, Hiroshi remained strong, still working in his fields well into his late 70s. When asked his secret, he laughed and pointed to his bowl of natto. His story may sound quaint, but science confirms it wasn't luck, it was chemistry. Natto also supports digestion thanks to its probiotics, boosting gut health just like miso, but with the added cardiovascular punch. And though its stringy texture and pungent smell may put some people off, blending it with rice, eggs, or vegetables makes it far more palatable. Seniors who make it part of their routine often say they feel lighter, more energetic, and more stable on their feet. The bottom line is this. Natto is one of the most potent natural protectors against the 2 greatest threats to senior independence, strokes, and fractures. Ignoring it means risking the sudden, devastating loss of mobility. Embracing it means stacking the odds in your favor for long, independent living. And yet, as critical as natto is, the food at number 1 is the most shocking of all, because it's not exotic, not rare, and chances are you've seen it in every grocery store, without realizing it could add years of independence to your life. Number 1. Daikon radish. At number 1 is a food so ordinary in appearance that most people walk right past it in the grocery store without a second thought: the daikon radish. This long, white root vegetable is a staple in Japanese and Korean diets, yet it holds shocking power when it comes to preserving senior independence after 70. Daikon isn't just a crunchy garnish. It is a natural detoxifier, circulation booster, and digestive healer all in one. For seniors, that combination is nothing short of life-saving. Here's why. As the body ages, metabolism slows, digestion becomes sluggish, and toxins build up in the bloodstream. That leads to fatigue, stiff joints, and constant heaviness that makes even walking across a room feel like a burden. Daikon radish contains powerful enzymes such as amylase and esterase, which help break down carbohydrates and fats more efficiently. A 2018 study published in Food Science and Nutrition highlighted how daikon extracts improved digestion speed and nutrient absorption, directly combating the sluggish metabolism seen in older adults. When nutrients are absorbed properly, muscles stay stronger, energy remains higher, and daily tasks become manageable again. But the most overlooked benefit of daikon lies in its ability to clear mucus and support breathing. Seniors often dismiss chronic coughing or congestion as just old age, but reduced lung capacity is one of the earliest predictors of disability. Daikon compounds act as natural expectorants, thinning mucus and clearing the airways. That's why it's traditionally served in soups during cold and flu season across Asia. Clear lungs mean easier breathing, more stamina, and a stronger voice to stay socially connected. Consider Margaret, a 79-year-old widow who often skipped meals and complained of constant bloating and breathlessness. She could no longer keep up with her walking group and thought her independence was fading for good. At her granddaughter's suggestion, she began adding grated daikon to soups and salads. Within a few months, she noticed her stomach felt lighter, her breathing less labored, and she proudly rejoined her friends on their daily walks. Her recovery wasn't luck. It was the simple power of a root most people ignore. The lesson is clear. Daikon radish doesn't just support one system. It helps the entire body work better, from digestion to circulation to breathing. For seniors, that means more energy, fewer hospital visits, and the ability to keep living on their own terms. But daikon is just the final piece in the puzzle. Combined with the other foods on this list, it can turn the tide of aging, restoring not just years of life, but years of independence. So, there you have it, 5 longevity foods that every senior over 70 should eat daily to stay strong, mobile, and independent. From the immune-boosting power of shiitake mushrooms to the bone-saving strength of tofu, the gut-healing comfort of miso soup, the heart-protecting magic of natto, and the detoxifying, energy-restoring daikon radish, each one is a lifeline against the silent decline of aging. The truth is simple, but sobering: independence after 70 doesn't vanish overnight. It's lost meal by meal, choice by choice. But just as decline can creep in quietly, so can strength return when you give your body the nutrients it's been missing for decades. These aren't exotic secrets reserved for the wealthy. They're everyday foods that can rewrite the final chapters of life. Now I want to hear from you. Have you tried any of these foods yet, or are they new to you? Where are you watching from, and what's the one health struggle you're facing right now? We read every single comment, and we reply because this channel isn't just about information. It's about building a community where seniors share and grow stronger together. If this video spoke to you, hit like, share it with a friend, and don't forget to subscribe, because your next years can still be your strongest. If you have any questions or want to share your personal experience, don't hesitate to leave a comment below. We're always listening. Thanks for watching.